I'm Lele 17, and I've got it bad for my best friend David. We've been tight since we were kids, but damn, puberty hit him like a truck. One day in class, I caught myself staring at his jawline instead of the board. Earth to Layla, Kyle whispered, nudging me. You're drooling. I snapped out of it, wiping my mouth. Shut up, I hissed. Kyle smirked. Just ask him out already. It's not that simple, I muttered, watching David chat with Rachel across the room. Miss Perfect with her bouncy hair and perky. Everything. Why not? Kyle pressed. I sighed. Because what if he says no? What if I ruin everything? Kyle rolled his eyes. What if you don't, and spend the rest of your life wondering what if? I hate it when he's right. Kyle's words stuck with me all day. By the time the final bell rang, my palms were sweaty and my heart was racing. I spotted David by his locker and took a deep breath. Hey, I said, trying to sound casual. It's Howson's, he flashed that killer smile. Hey, Lay, what's up? I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. Shit. Prom, I blurted. Real smooth, Layla. David raised an eyebrow. What about it? I swallowed hard. You going with anyone? He shrugged. Nah, not yet. Why? This was it. Do or die? Want to go together? I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. There was a pause that felt like forever. Then he grinned. Sure, sounds fun. I saw my heart soared. Great, I squeaked, probably a bit too enthusiastically. As we walked to his car, I couldn't stop smiling. Maybe Kyle was right. Maybe this was my chance to finally tell David how I felt. The next 2 weeks were a blur of dress fittings and daydreams. Before I knew it, prom night arrived. I was a bundle of nerves as I slipped into my dress. You look hot, my sister said, putting the finishing touches on my makeup. I barely recognized myself in the mirror. You think David will like it? She winked. He'd be crazy not to. The doorbell rang, and my stomach did a somersault. I opened the door to find David looking like a freaking movie star in his tux. Wow, he said, eyes wide. You look amazing, Lay. I felt my cheeks burn. You clean up pretty good yourself. In the car, David turned to me. So, got any big plans for tonight? If only he knew, maybe I said, trying to sound mysterious, you'll just have to wait and see. As we pulled up to the school, I took a deep breath. Tonight was the night. I was finally going to tell David how I felt. We stepped into the gym, and it was like entering another world. Twinkling lights, pounding music, and the smell of punch and hormones. Want to dance? David shouted over the music. I nodded, heart racing as he took my hand and led me to the dance floor. His hands on my waist sent shivers down my spine. You're a better dancer than I remember, I teased as he twirled me. He laughed. Maybe you bring out the best in me. God, was he flirting? I couldn't tell. The music slowed and he pulled me closer. I could feel his breath on my neck. Lee, he said softly, I'm really glad we came together. This was it, the perfect moment. I looked up at him, our faces inches apart. David? Hey, lovebirds. Kyle's voice cut through the moment. Having fun? David stepped back, and just like that, the spell was broken. I need some air, I muttered, pushing through the crowd. The night was young, but I was running out of time. I burst through the gym doors, gulping in the cool night air. David followed close behind. You okay? He asked, concern etched on his face. I nodded, not trusting my voice. We started walking, the music fading behind us. It's a beautiful night, David said, looking up at the stars. I took a deep breath. It was now or never. David, there's something I need to tell you. He turned to me, eyes curious. What is it? My heart was pounding so hard I thought it might burst out of my chest. I like you, like really like you. Before I could chicken out, I stood on my tiptoes and pressed my lips to his. For a split second, it was everything I'd dreamed of. Then his hands were on my shoulders, pushing me away. The look on his face made my stomach drop. Layla, he started, his voice pained. But I didn't want to hear it. I turned and ran, leaving David standing alone in the moonlight, my dreams shattering with every step. I didn't get far before David caught up to me, grabbing my arm. Layla, wait, he panted. We need to talk about this. I spun around, tears stinging my eyes. What's there to talk about? You clearly don't feel the same way. David ran a hand through his hair, looking frustrated. It's not that simple. Then explain it to me, I snapped. Is it Rachel? Are you two secretly dating or something? He let out a bitter laugh. Rachel, God, no. Leia, you've got it all wrong. Then what is it? I demanded, my voice cracking. David took a deep breath, his eyes meeting mine. I'm gay, Layla. Just as the words hit me like a truck, I staggered back, shaking my head. What? No, you can't be. I am, he said softly. I've known for a while now. I didn't know how to tell you. I felt like I was drowning. All those years, all those dreams, they've been built on a lie. I need to go, I choked out, turning away. Leah, please. David started, but I was already running, leaving him and my shattered heart behind. I ran until my lungs burned, my heels abandoned somewhere along the way. Somehow I ended up at home, fumbling with my keys as tears blurred my vision. Lele, my sister called from upstairs. You're home early. How was... I slammed my bedroom door, cutting her off. Collapsing onto my bed, still in my prom dress, I let the sobs take over. And my phone buzzed incessantly. Text from David. Leah, please talk to me. I'm so sorry. I never meant to hurt you. Can we meet tomorrow? We need to talk about this. I hurled my phone across the room, watching it bounce off the wall. How could I have been so stupid? All those signs I'd ignored. The way he'd never shown interest in any girls, how he'd always changed the subject when I brought up dating. I cried until there were no tears left, my makeup a mess on my pillow. As exhaustion took over, one thought kept repeating in my head. How the hell was I supposed to face him after this? I woke up to a pounding headache and about 1,000,000 notifications. Groaning, I reached for my phone, wincing at the cracked screen. Right? Among the sea of texts from David was one from Kyle. Heard what happened. You okay? I typed Beth. Define okay. Coffee, our spot, 20 mins. I dragged myself out of bed, looking like a raccoon thanks to last night's makeup. Whatever, I threw on some sweats and headed out. Kyle was already there when I arrived, pushing a lad towards me as I slumped into the seat. You look like shit, he said bluntly. Thanks, I muttered, taking a sip. Did David tell you? Kyle nodded. He's worried sick about you. I snorted. Right? Because I'm the one who dropped a bombshell. Kyle said gently, he didn't choose this, and he didn't mean to hurt you. I knew he was right, but it still stung. So what now? Now Kyle said, you talk to him. Clear the air. Can you my phone buzz? David, can we meet, please? I took a deep breath and typed back. Where? 2,000 minutes later, I was sitting across from David at our favorite diner. The awkwardness was thick enough to cut with a knife. I ordered your usual, David said, pushing a plate of fries towards me. Thanks, I mumbled, focusing on the food to avoid his eyes. He sighed. Leah, I'm so sorry. I never meant for things to go down like this. I finally looked up at him. How long have you known? A while, he admitted. I didn't know how to tell you. You're my best friend, and I was scared of losing you. I felt a lump in my throat. You could never lose me, dumbass. He gave a weak smile. So, are we okay? I took a deep breath. We will be. It's just, I need some time. David nodded, relief washing over his face. Take all the time you need. I'll be here. As we finished our food, the tension slowly eased. By the time we left, we were almost back to normal, laughing about Kyle's terrible dance moves from prom. Walking home, I realized something. My crush on David was gone, but our friendship, that was stronger than ever. Months flew by and life settled into a new norm. David and I were back to being best friends, minus the unrequited crush drama. One day we were hanging out at the mall when David nudged me. Don't look now, but Kyle's been staring at you for the last 10 minutes. I glanced over, catching Kyle's eye. He blushed and quickly looked away. No way, I laughed. Kyle, really? David grinned. Why not? He's smart, funny, and let's face it, those curls are to die for. I pondered this. Kyle had always been there, supporting me, making me laugh. How had I never noticed before? Just then, a guy I'd never seen before approached us. Hey, David, he said, smiling shyly. David's face lit up. Oh, hey, Layla, this is Alex. He just transferred to our school. As they chatted, I caught the look in David's eyes. It was the same look I used to have for him. Later, as we left the mall, I linked arms with David. So, Alex seems nice, I teased. He blushed. Shut up, he mumbled, but he was smiling. I glanced back at Kyle, who was still sneaking looks at me. Hey, I said to David, maybe we could all hang out sometime, like a double date. David's eyes widened, then he grinned. I'd like that, he said. As we walked home, I realized something. This might not have been the happy ending I'd originally wanted, but somehow it felt even better.